Power rankings are something that I look forward to. And what's kind of interesting is you're starting to see a couple of teams stay there. Maybe they swap positions. The Dodgers, Yankees have kind of been the only, I think, two teams in our number one spot so far this year.
Yep.
But you're starting to see a couple of teams kind of open up a lead. Like the Mets are 7.5, 8.5 games up in their division. So that's kind of an easy one. But you're starting to see some teams kind of get some more distance from the rest of not only their division, but the in the American League and the National League. So I think we're going to agree a little bit more on this one, but I guess we'll just have to see. So I'll let you go first. Who's your number one?
All right, number one. I think last week I said the Yankees, right? And I mean, it hurt to say that. My ears were burning a little bit. I'm sick after. I'm going with the Dodgers.
Oh, okay.
Going with the Dodgers. I can't. It's too close, and if it's close, I'm going with the Dodgers. Let's see. 33-15 for the Yankees. 33-14 for the Dodgers going into Monday. I don't know. Last 10, the Dodgers are 8-2.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees are 5-5, lost 2 in a row. 220 runs scored, 149 runs allowed, plus 71 differential for the Yankees. 262 runs scored for the Dodgers, 143 plus 119 differential.
Are you trying to convince
For the
yourself that the
Dodgers?
Yankees are better, or what are we
No,
doing here?
Dodgers are better.
Okay.
Dodgers better. Dodgers can hit.
Yeah, and they can hit a little bit better, and they're healthier right now.
They're healthier.
We've talked
Yep.
a little bit about,
Yep.
and we'll get into it a little bit later, the injuries that are starting to happen in New York, because we've continued to say it just like everybody else in baseball. The Yankees are, and potentially could be, and when they're healthy, they are the best team when they're pitching and everything. Well, they're starting to see those injuries, and it's starting to take a toll on there. So
Right.
You got the Dodgers one. I agree with you here. I'm going with
All
the
right.
Dodgers one for the same reasons. 4-game win streak, 8-2 in their last 10 without Kershaw. They still hit the ball. They had the Pirates coming up, so that's probably going to be a sweep of a series. But 6-1 against teams over 500. All right. Yes, they've only played 7 games against teams over 500. Playing Pittsburgh, they're not over 500. But either way, they're getting it done versus good teams. But 15-5, they're winning the games at home. 18-9, they're continually improving away. For a while there, they were almost right around that 500 on the away games, but that plus 119 differential is unreal. Best in baseball right now. And the Dodgers and the Yankees are tied with pretty much the best record in baseball. I think the Dodgers have played 1 less game, so they're 702 winning percentage, with the Yankees at 688. So with that being said, who's your number 2?
Yankees.
Yankees.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3.
Number 3 or number 2? That was
Number
your
2.
Oh, that was your 2.
I'm just saying, let's move on. I don't want to talk about the Yankees anymore.
Oh, fair enough. I got him as my number 2, so we have to talk about it. Plus 71 differential. I mean, 17-7 at home, 16-8. They're pretty much just as good away and home. 12-8 though against teams over 500. I mean, that's a winning record.
Pretty good.
It's not as good as some of the other teams. And Yankees are getting beat up. So we'll continue about that a little more. Logan's ready for number 3. Go ahead.
Yep. Going with the Mets.
Okay.
Going to the Mets. 32-17.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to argue. Plus 54 differential. The Mets are scoring runs, 243. They've allowed 189. 9-5 teams over 500. 16 wins each, home and away.
Yep.
And you could take a little bit away from them, just looking at the record compared to everyone else in their division. There isn't the Atlanta is 23-25 in second place, so they're 2 games under. But I'm not going to do that. I'm saying the Mets.
Yeah, I agree with you. Mets, again, second best record in baseball, third best, I guess, technically. Good run differential, like you said, with the stats and everything. And keep in mind, they're doing it without Scherzer. They're doing it out with DeGrom, and they're doing it out with Miguel. All right, they got 3 of their 5, pitchers in the rotation that are injured. And we'll have a little bit of an update on DeGrom a little bit later, as long as we have time. But the Mets, impressive. And what they're doing is, the one thing that scares me a little bit is they continue to get behind, but they're finding a way to win games, coming back in a lot of games. But they kind of have the September curse or whatever it might be. So if they continue to play from behind late in the year versus the better teams, it's going to really kind of ruin their season, in my opinion. So the Mets, you got to find a way to stay ahead like you were at the beginning of the year. But either way, 7-3 in your last 10, 3-game winning streak. You guys are playing some good baseball. So you're taking on Washington, the worst team in their division, who's 18-31 in their next series. So should be another series that the Mets are going to win. But all right, that's enough in New York. What do you got it for?
Milwaukee.
Okay.
31-18. They're scoring runs, 225 runs allowed, 187 right with the Mets, plus 38 run differential. 6-6 teams above 500. But Milwaukee's just playing so much better baseball after the first couple weeks. Yeah, Milwaukee.
All right, so this is our first different. I went with the Astros. This was a
Okay.
tough one for me. Astros 31-18, same record as the Brewers. They have a +41 differential, little bit better than the Brewers, and they just got hot. I mean, they went on, winning 13 of their 14 games for a little bit there, 14-6 home. Struggling a little bit on the road, 17-12, 9-7 against teams over 500. They're taking on the worst team in their division, the A's, right now. And 6-4 in their last 10, so they did cool off a little bit, but they had a couple of tough series. But either way, one of the best records in baseball. They fell a little bit. I think I had them at 3 potentially last week or the week before, but I got them at 4. Playing good baseball. So I'll go with year 5.
Houston.
Okay, so we flip flop, and I went with the Brewers.
There you go.
They're right around the same, which is a good thing. But then if you start to kind of look at the other teams, the second place team in the NL Central is the Cards, 27-21. So 3-4 games back, and almost every division is still about 3 to 4 games back. So you're starting to see kind of those first place teams not really run away with it. There's still a lot of baseball, but you're starting to see why they are some of the better teams. But and I know your beloved Jays, they're playing some good baseball, 7-3 in their last 10, 5-game winning streak, but you don't want to hear this either, but the Red Sox, they've heated up. They're up to 23-25, 7-3 as well on their last 10, and they had a nice 5 or 6 game winning streak as well. The only difference that I really see between those two teams in a very tough division is the run differential. Boston's +27, Jays are -1 currently out there, but both starting to that division's heating up. Even Baltimore, a respectful 20-29. But honorable mention for me was going to be Tampa. All right, they had a great series against the Yankees, 2-game win streak, 6-4 in their last 10. Another honorable mention for me was going to be the Twins. They're leading the AL Central. All right, they're cooling off a little bit. A couple of injuries, and I think Correa is going to land on the IL for a little bit as well. So see how that goes. It's a potential chance for a team that's underperforming like the White Sox to maybe kind of get a little bit closer as the season goes. Angels, they're on my honorable mention list. 27-22. And the other one obviously is going to be the Padres for me, 30-18. They were they cracked the top 5, but 6-4. Didn't have a great week, but still playing some pretty good baseball. And they lost to the Pirates, my Pirates. And if you lose to them, it's hard for me to throw you in the top 5 because
that's fair.
Yeah, it's the Pirates. So I don't know if you have anybody else on your honorable mention,
but that was all of mine.
Yep, and big shout out to the Reds, worst team in baseball with the Royals.
But the Reds started 3-22.
Yep.
Since then, they're 13-8.
True. Yeah.
Hey,
that's
the silver lining.
Silver lining.
Go Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm still not going to root for them.
Yeah, fair.
Good for them. Good for them.